The continent of Africa has seen generations of travelers, slave traders, explorers, missionaries, governors, and scholars of all kinds give out the image of Africa as one of nothing but poverty, barbarism, irresponsibility, and chaos. That is the focus of this expert meeting organized by UNESCO with the assistance from the African Union Commission to discuss on the general history of Africa.
African Union Commission, Excellency Mr. Antonio Cortim, Ambassador of Portugal and a long-time friend of UNESCO, distinguished representatives of the African Union Commission, distinguished members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished members of the Scientific Committee for the Pedagogical Use of the General History of Africa, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and dear friends. Once again, it is a great honor for me to take part in the closing of this experts meeting on the elaboration of the 9th volume of the General History of Africa. First and foremost, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all those who, through their inputs, have significantly contributed to the debates on the elaboration of the 9th volume of the General History of Africa. As you know, the General History of Africa project is of utmost importance to UNESCO. This elaboration of its 9th volume, requested by the African Union member states and which comes within this project, is of utmost importance for all of us. You all know how important and opportune are this 9th volume of this collection. The content review of the volumes of the General History of Africa, remarkably undertaken by African scholars under the able supervision of the chairman of the Association of African Historians, Professor Douale Konate, here present with us, highlighted the necessity to review the content of the published volumes of the General History of Africa in order to take into account the important developments in scientific research that occurred since the completion of the collection, as well as the socio-political, economic, cultural, and environmental changes that happened in Africa since the completion of this collection.
I think that the first generation of African historians dealt with this problem, and the 8th volume of the General History of Africa really contributed to destroy this negative view of the history of Africa. And we now are engaged in a process connected with the African Union and the need to build the African Renaissance. This can be done only by re-evaluating the general history of Africa, to update the writing, and also to take in account what has been happening in the diaspora, especially in Central America, in Brazil, and also in the United States.
Mais vous savez que nous parlons aujourd'hui beaucoup de panafricanisme, mais c'est une leçon qui nous est venue aux États-Unis. Je vais aussi vous donner notre exemple qui est récent. Il y a quelques années, vous savez, nous avons tous suivi sur les médias un film qui nous a beaucoup marqué, c'était Roots. C'était un dialogue, c'était un message qui nous venait de nos frères américains. Et puis aujourd'hui, entendre un Américain dire « Je suis un Afro-Américain »,